Hello world, this is Lisa Friedrichsen, your friend and computer science professor from Johnson County Community College with another short screencast of javascript.info, the modern JavaScript tutorial. In this short screencast, we're working in section 2, 1.4, searching web page with the getElement or querySelector methods. I'm going to show you the techniques that are taught in this lesson using Visual Studio and a small JavaScript file and a small HTML and CSS file. Let's look at the HTML and CSS that we'll be working with. The HTML is basically just some unordered lists, and they render in a web page like this. So I've got one unordered list and then two embedded unordered lists. The styles that I've linked to are very short, 3 declarations, one for #digital, and we know when we have a # in front of our word as a selector for CSS, we're connecting with an ID. And this is a background color of gray, and that digital is this list item. If we go back to template.html, we can see that this is ID'd digital, and so it connects with the #digital selector. A period in a CSS selector is connecting to a class in the HTML. So I evidently have some things with the class equal web and class equal prog for programming that change the text color to red and blue. Let's look at that in the HTML. And here we have these 3 items classed web, have the red text, and these 2 items classed prog for programming that have the blue text. With the HTML and CSS under our belt, let's look at JavaScript. And what I'm going to focus on are the 5 most important or most common methods in the document to identify content. Because after all, that's what JavaScript's going to do. It's going to change and modify your content and your HTML and your styles based on user interaction. So a big part of that is identifying what you want on the web page. And there are 2 methods that help identify a single element, the getElementById method and the querySelector method. You can go into your console and type these statements and see what results, and it tells us in the console that when we go and identify the element_by_id digital, we are looking at this list item, the list item with the ID of digital. Another thing you might start practicing is declaring variables that are assigned to these statements. Because if you wanted to do several things with this list item, it would be verbose to type that entire statement out. That's fairly long. Sometimes we'll use variables such as let digital, assign it to that statement, save, refresh, so we can use that variable name instead of the long statement to mean the same thing. So variable names can be used to shorten and clarify our code. So the getElementById method, it's a very valuable method because we are often wanting to point to an individual button or input box or paragraph to modify it in certain ways based on the user interacting with the page. Another way to identify a single element is the querySelector method. Now the querySelector method has a different argument. Instead of the value of the ID, its argument asks for a selector. And we know that selectors in CSS are the part that comes before the first curly brace. So in JavaScript, it looks kind of odd there to have a period in that argument. That's because that's what the selector is. So if your class equals prog in the HTML, in the CSS, your selector is going to be .prog. And in JavaScript, when you use the querySelector method, you're going to be using that selector name. So what document.querySelectorProg is going to do is select the first item with the prog class. And back in our HTML, we know the first item with the prog class is a C++ line. So let's go look at this. I'm going to go ahead and set it equal to a variable name here just for fun. Let prog be assigned to that. Save, refresh. Now when I go into my console and I ask what prog is, it points out in my console the very first list item with a class of prog is returned and highlighted in my web page. So those are the 2 methods that are used to identify a single element on the web page. Now if you want to identify a list of elements, for example, you want to identify all the items in the shopping cart, you need to use one of these 3 methods. To get elements by class name, notice the plural elements, getElementsByTagName, notice the plural elements, or querySelectorAll, as opposed to querySelector, which only selects the first element with a class of prog. Let's see what these give us. I've assigned variable names just to shorten my typing in the console. ElementsByClassName prog, so that would be 2 list items. If I put all prog here, then I get an HTML collection of 2 items, looks much like an array. If I expand that, I can see that I've got 2 different items in my list. Item index number 0 is the first list item with the prog class, and the item index number 1 is the second item in the list with a class equals prog. So all prog now is assigned to ElementsByClassName prog, which returned 2 elements in an HTML collection. Let's see what all li, which is assigned to ElementsByTagName, that returns an HTML collection of 8 items, because all 8 of those items are an li. I might need to iterate over those items in my list for a variety of reasons, to style, to do some calculations. So the getElementsByTagName, the argument is actually an element name. And in this case, I put li because I have several li's on the page. Let's look at all web. It's giving me a node list. And the node list is those things that have a class equals web. Remember, querySelector is looking at the CSS selector. And a dot selector in CSS is pointing to a class equals something in the HTML. querySelectorAll and querySelector uses the selector in the CSS, the part before the first curly brace, which identifies what is being selected, and it puts that in the JavaScript as the argument. Whereas getElementsByClassName, that is the actual class name prog. getElementsByTagName, that argument's the actual element name. getElementById, that's a singular, that's getting one thing. It's the ID value. But anytime you see these querySelector or querySelectorAll methods, the argument is in CSS selector syntax. Those are the 5 most common ways to identify either a single element or a list in JavaScript. Thank you.